everybody? Ty here. Hope everyone's doing well. So we're gonna do this May outlook really quickly. Apologies for the delays, but severe weather's been still pretty rampant as we've gone throughout April, especially the middle part of the month, and there's actually even more to come, but we're gonna make this one happen. Videos are actually gonna be going up in the morning. We'll be catching up with another video for the upcoming forecast later this evening. But in any case, though, quick little rundown of what we're seeing on the temperature outlook here. Warm out towards the west, a little bit cooler out towards the east, but still expecting above average temperatures towards the southeast in particular. I think that will kind of be either or whenever it comes to the northeast and parts of the Midwest here. But that doesn't mean that you won't get warm or colder than average days here. For the most part, I think we'll still have those warmer days outweigh the colder ones. By the next outlook, which would be 9 days from when you see this video, will probably show maybe a little bit of movement here regarding the above average temperatures here. In the most extreme case, maybe some slightly below average here, maybe the 33 to 40% quantity over here towards the far northeast. Towards the northwest, I'm really thinking we're probably going to stay the same with equal chances here. Alaska is a really good reflection of that, considering the fact that we have above average temperatures across the board here with only equal chances hanging around towards the Aleutians at this point. So if we were to go ahead and take a look at the precip outlook, it's kind of supporting the fact that the storm pattern is going to be looking like we're going to have more ridging out towards the west, and then towards the east we'll probably start to see troughing occurring more frequently throughout the month of May. So a couple areas that I think will get 86 over towards anywhere east of the Mississippi. It's going to be over towards the, I would say, the southeast coast here, Florida Peninsula for the most part. Not uncommon for this time of year. Usually this region gets a little bit quieter. Once we get towards June, it typically, especially during a neutral year, we'll start to see that onshore flow, and that's when we start to get those showers and storms to pop off here, and we start seeing this kind of change more into the green versus the brown. But we're kind of in standby mode at this point right now. We're still kind of going through the transitional phase. Now, one thing I will make note of here is over towards the far northwest, just like the northeast, we could see maybe a chance of some above average precip, but I think that's mostly going to be relegated up towards the northern mountains here and over towards Canada, really past the U.S. border at this point. Once we get over towards the Aleutians and areas towards southern Alaska, we're looking at the below average precip quantities here, and I think that pretty much is going to be a consistent trend. So we're kind of in the in-betweener zone over here towards, let's say, the state of Washington and maybe northern parts of Idaho and western parts of Montana here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Enso region here. It's no secret that we're expecting a neutral phase. We're already in it at this point. It's going to actually be a consistent trend throughout the year. But for this month, it's not going to be anything too far out of the ordinary, maybe a little bit less in the way of severe weather. I also would expect severe weather to kind of move over towards the west a bit, as we would typically see during this time of year. It could remain a little bit over towards the Quad State region here, but I expect a little bit more action towards the Midwest and the Great Plains as a whole here, especially with what we're expecting over the next couple of weeks. So this is our teleconnection map. We're looking at a couple of particular oscillations that interest me. There's another region here that I always watch as well, and what we mainly are paying close attention to are the blue air masses here. This is our cold air. This usually, whenever we get our collision here, is what will allow our storms to develop. But notice as we go forward here, our teleconnection here, this is the North Atlantic oscillation. We're starting to get into a predominantly positive phase, and that's going to keep things warm over towards the northeast. Then out towards the northern U.S., we look at this teleconnection here. This is called the Arctic oscillation, or the AO. Both of these are in a positive phase at this point. We move these forward, and at this point, it's pretty much a predominantly positive phase here. A couple areas where we're kind of going neutral, maybe slightly leaning into a negative phase. We'll still have to watch those as we go here, but as we go through May 18th and beyond here, we're predominantly positive at this point. So we're probably going to be above average in regards to temperatures, And I think the first half of the month in particular, if you watch these contour lines, you'll notice a lot of troughing out towards the west starting out. Eventually this moves off towards the east, and we kind of end up becoming a little bit more zonal. So there may be a dead point in regards to storm activity as we get towards the latter half of May here. Of course, there's still other wild cards to consider, and we're looking at this week by week here, not day by day. We're still out of range to do that at this current point in time. But based off of what we're seeing here, this is a reflection of that on the temperature map here. As we start the month of May, you can see over towards the deep south here into the Great Plains as well. You can see above average temperatures abundant. I expect some records to be broken here, especially over towards the Ohio Valley. We could easily be about 20 to 30, maybe even 35 to 40 degrees above average, depending on the area. And then as we continue to move forward, we kind of level out a little bit. And then eventually the west starts to come in with those above average temperatures as well. They're a little bit more consistent across the board there. But in all seriousness though, I'm thinking that for the Ohio Valley, even though we're at equal chances, I do think we'll start to sneak into that above average temperature territory by the next outlook, which will be the 30th. And then as far as the precip map is concerned, like I said, a lot of activity is probably going to be expected over towards the Ohio Valley. Eventually, though, we do have a point where things kind of slow down a bit as we get towards the mid-month and beyond here, which kind of backs up my thoughts on what I was seeing with the anomaly map, with the height anomaly map we were looking at earlier. So I think the early part of May so far, it looks pretty busy. As we go further beyond that point, it's kind of questionable as to what happens next. It's a quick little video for you guys. I got to run to work. Appreciate you all tuning in, and I hope to see you later this evening. Till then, everybody take care and have a wonderful rest of your day.